Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to share with you the power of consulting. And if you have a professional background, maybe you're an agency owner, a done-for-you service provider, or you just have some tremendous expertise in business where you know that you could help other people if you just knew how to go about it in the right way. So stay tuned, and I'll be sharing with you how to take advantage of the power of consulting in your business. Hey there, my name is Laura Meyer. I help smart experts become in-demand consultants, and I'm also a premium top online business strategist to some of the most popular influencers in the country. And today I want to share with you how to become a consultant. Many people have an incredible background, are super smart, are brilliant at what they do, but don't necessarily know how to package up their genius so that other people are willing to invest in it. I started making money as a consultant several years ago when I closed down my brick and mortar chain and I didn't necessarily know what it was that I was going to do next. It was a really hard and uncertain time for me. And many of you might have experienced something similar going through the pandemic or going through the Great Resignation or going through an uncertain economy that we're entering into at the time this video is being recorded. And if that is you and you have this extensive background and you have all of these lessons learned, or maybe you have these advanced degrees and you haven't quite figured out how to package it up in a way that makes sense for you, consulting might be something to consider. Because unlike online courses or unlike info products, it doesn't take much to get going. You really just need Zoom, a calculator, a notebook, a way of organizing, and ensuring that you have your client's best interest at heart. Ultimately, that's what makes a great consultant. It isn't necessarily that we are selling services because we think they'll buy those services, but because we know that with our help, we can flatten the learning curve for an individual or an organization. We can make it easier and faster for them to achieve a goal, typically a financial goal or maybe an organizational goal. Because of where we're coming from and what we've experienced, we can advise them in a way that most programs really can't, in a way that is very custom, in a way that is transformational. And that's one of the things that I love about consulting. So how do you even get started in consulting if this is something that you know that you've wanted to do more of? The first is to know your ideal client. And you probably have heard the saying, the riches are in the niches, but it really is true because as you become a specialist in a particular type of area, people will pursue getting to know you. They'll say, oh my gosh, you need an issue with this particular problem. Well, have you ever met Jennifer? She's amazing at solving that particular issue. It also makes it so much easier for other people to refer you because if you are a subject matter expert, a category expert, then you have a specialty that maybe a generalist doesn't have or a specialist in another area doesn't have. So for example, the other day, a longtime peer of mine who happens to be an expert in a particular type of marketing software called HubSpot, and she recommends and creates consultations based on that particular software, ran into somebody that wasn't as interested in that particular software as they were in somebody who knows the online course creation space, which is me. So she recommended a client to me that has best-selling books on Amazon, that is a top-rated podcaster, a fantastic referral. And why? Because I'm the perfect person to solve that individual's problem. And when she made that connection, that referral, not only did she look really good by saying, you know what, that's not my specialty, but I know the perfect person for you, but they were so excited and happy to connect with me, which is what we all want when we're talking to potential clients, right? The second way to get started in consulting goes along with the first, which is to know exactly what it is that your clients want and need. And this is what helps you create a scalable offer. A lot of times you'll hear people say, consulting's not scalable, don't get into it, it's just one-on-one work, which isn't necessarily true. I have people in my organization that help me deliver on my consulting offer. Being very specific about who I help and how, and being really clear on the types of solutions that I provide, this is where I can get good at pattern recognition. I can get good at delivering the same types of solutions time and time again. Because when they come to me, in a lot of ways, sometimes I know what they need more than they even know, which is so common. I will get on a consultation call with somebody and they kind of have a sense of what their problem is, but as I start asking more questions, the answers start to reveal themselves, at least to me. I can start seeing where the gaps are and where I can get them the quickest wins so that I can build trust and create that long-term relationship that results in multi-year retainers. And the third way to get started in consulting goes along with the second point that I just made. It's helping them get a quick win up front. And if you're new to consulting, I would challenge you to think more in those shorter time frames. And if you're really good at what you do, which I'm sure you are, you're going to get into a consulting arrangement and you're going to see tons of opportunity, right? You're going to see all of these different places where they could improve their processes or improve their marketing or improve their operations or improve their team structure. And you're going to want to do it all at once because you are really good at this and you want to give them everything you have all at the same time. But I can share with you that this is the last thing you want to do as a consultant. You don't want to give them too many things to do, because what happens is not only do they get overwhelmed and they are like, oh my gosh, there's so much here and I have all of these other things going on that I still need to tend to in my business. But you've essentially worked yourself out of a consulting arrangement. They are going to take years to implement maybe the 60 or 90 days of recommendations that you gave them. And so they will say, you know what, can we just go off of retainer? And can I circle back with you in a few years when I get all of this done? It happens all the time. So when you first get started with your initial consulting project, what you want to do is you want to get them a win. Get them a one single win. When you see all of the opportunity that they need to implement in their business that you know would transform their situation, choose one. Choose the lowest hanging fruit. Choose the most obvious glaring problem. And put that into place and get them a tangible result within 30 days or less. Just section out. So for example, if you see 10 steps they could follow, choose the first one. Have them implement it in their business. Support them through that implementation. And then share with them, look, here's the results that we did together, which again builds trust and sets you up for that longer term, bigger retainer or project down the road. At the end of the day, when people see you as the go-to person, which takes time, it doesn't happen initially. As you get started in consulting, you will get a win for one client, then you'll get a win for another client, then you'll start collecting testimonials on your website, which is super important, and then you'll point people to the testimonials when they're considering working with you. And over time, that flywheel effect will start taking place in your business, and that one small project will turn into a long-term retainer, which will turn into another long-term retainer. So the biggest piece of advice I have for you is to find somebody that you can help with a short-term project right away. And then as you develop your subject matter expertise, particularly as a consultant, then they'll refer other clients to you that have a similar problem to them. And then your reputation will grow. People will get to know you more and your referrals will start rolling in. So it really is all about getting started with that quick win and then building your consulting business over time. So if you loved this, make sure to hit the bell, hit that like button, and subscribe to more videos. Check out some of the other ones that I have in this channel where I teach smart experts like you how to become in-demand consultants.